back, baby.
Once the guns go
Yeah, we're back, all
cold.
right.
How's it going, sir?
It's you know what? It's um I want to say it's fine.
Okay,
Ultimately it's fine.
right.
Um uh but boy, also is the country imploding? Like
Yo,
it's fine, but also decidedly not.
yeah. Like I I've grown up under the impression at one point, illusion currently,
Mhm.
that this was the best country in the world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
Yes.
de- I will fully admit I believed it.
No, I understand. That totally makes sense.
Real talk. And I know it's not true now.
Mhm.
I can't say it wasn't true at any point I was alive.
Sure.
It might have been true at some point,
Mhm.
but I will say like I don't know when it became a lot like not true, but like I didn't think I would actively know it was not true.
Yeah.
Like I'm positive that it's not true now.
Right. Yes. I mean,
Um,
yeah, I definitely was raised to, not trust anyone. But I mean, except whoever my parents decided I should trust, which,
right,
then I tried to decide who I wanted to trust, and my folks were like, "But that's not who we told you to." You know what I mean? It was a whole thing. But I have never fully um been like a USA all the way kind of person,
right.
but I did not think that I would be around for very, like, historic moments, like, very historic moments, and also to see it all, like, fall apart. I thought,
Yo,
like, I just didn't think that would happen on my watch.
yo, and this is one of the times where like me being from a not great economic neighborhood worked
Mhm.
against me a lot.
Mm.
And it's not a way people would think, but like we had so like the textbooks in my school were so old that
Right,
I only associate important things as old. Like
right,
that doesn't happen in my life.
right.
And like I'm to your point, I am adamant that like there are a lot of things I've lived through now that like will be in textbooks.
Yes, right.
Like,
I
I'm like, I didn't think that was a thing. Like every textbook I read growing up, like stopped at like, and Kennedy got shot, and like that's all you need to know. Everything after that, yeah, you can handle it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, you could
minutia.
ask someone, they probably were around for it.
Real
Yeah,
talk.
it is kinda wild to think that, the main point of textbooks may not stop at, like, slavery or MLK. Like, that won't be the end. Like,
Yo,
there's a whole other like, that is kind of wild.
and until like realist, like being honest, like even as I've gotten older, I thought
Mhm.
like, I you got to add 9/11, but that's about it.
You
You know
gotta
what I mean?
add
Like
9/11.
you got to add that. I give you that. Okay, yeah, that's a
I
little more than a footnote.
mean, come on, yeah, there's gotta be at least a chapter on 9 at
Real
least
talk.
questions about 9/11 at the end of the reading.
They should know.
Absolutely.
They should
Yeah,
know what happened. I
yeah.
get that. But like, yo, the last like 6, 7 years, they've been another one,
I
another
mean,
chapter.
I dare say I mean, okay, so yeah, hold on now. So if we're writing this history book, like, we gotta yeah, I mean, you gotta pick up on some major things that I'm pretty sure were not in my history books. I mean, my US history teacher, uh called, me and my friends hippies, because because he wasn't allowed necessarily to say the N word and the F word probably, like he wanted to.
Yo,
That's what he certainly wanted to call me and my friends, a
that's
bunch of
wild.
N's and F's, but he couldn't, so you gotta stick with hippies. Um, so yeah,
Oh man.
I I'm I think he probably had money riding on a few Confederate horses. He was an old
Amen.
man, and that's why we were in Stone Mountain. So we really were in his neck of the woods. So I get it. But I mean, like, if you are now gonna pick up from, like, say, the '70s, there are a couple of things, that you gotta note that certainly were not in my history books. I don't think they ever either they never made it to the '70s, which would be fair because I was in high school in the back half of the '80s, um, or they we just never got to those chapters. Like, we
Yeah.
really, just really stayed in certain areas and not in others. But, so you gotta add you gotta start with, like, abortion becoming legal because in later chapters, you gotta talk about it that
Right.
switching, right?
Oh my
So you
God.
gotta yeah, those are our bookends, those are our parentheses.
Yo. Oh my God. Yo, there's gonna
And
be a
that's
women's rights chapter in
yeah,
2024. That's wow.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, just like, PS on that women's lib chapter from the '70s and
I'm
'80s.
doing it right now.
PS, ignore all of that.
Real talk.
Flip that
Oh
over.
my God.
Uno reverse. Yeah.
Oh, that's scary. You're right.
Yeah, and then I mean, come on. We weren't talking about the Iran Contra affair in high school because I was in high school as it was happening. And I mean, I don't know what was popping off in the teachers lounge, but I know as children we were not talking about it. I also was in high school when the Berlin Wall fell. God
I was
damn,
gonna
I'm old as fuck. But yes, but yes. So, I mean, we probably maybe heard a little bit about it going up,
Yeah.
but I don't even know if books are covering it coming apart.
I'm gonna ask my kids about that because I
Mm.
was I didn't know being real, I still don't know where the wall was at. I don't know what it was defending, what it was dividing. I just knew it was up,
And
it
then it
came
came down.
down, and it was on the TV when like the adults in my life were watching TV.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's a good question because as it turns out, I am horrible at history. But I feel
it-
like this was like a wasn't this like a World War II thing where they were like, all right, well, half of Germany, because I remember East Germany and West Germany,
okay.
and then East Berlin and West Berlin, and the wall being through the middle of Berlin. And then, Mr. Gorbachev take down that wall. And then the wall, and suddenly there were little pieces of the Berlin Wall at your favorite knickknack store in Tucker, Georgia, or whatever. And which I'm like, I don't. Did they really ship part of the wall here? But yeah. I don't know the particulars. I just know it came down, and
Real talk.
there must have been a concert. If there was a concert for it, yes, then maybe I paid attention. So I
Yeah,
could
I associate. Yo, real talk. The more I think about like all of that time, like man, American propaganda got me. Like
well,
I
it was
think,
supposed to. Well, I mean, in your case, your parents moved to America, right?
yeah, like we came
So
here. I was like the first. I'm the first product too. Like all of my cousins are older than me are born in DR. I'm the first American from both sides of the family.
oh,
Like
wow,
I'm
no
like the
pressure.
real talk. Yo,
No pressure, and you
yo,
decided to be a comedian? Man,
they own it.
oh,
That
wow,
is a
they must
thing.
be furious.
My cousins love me. My aunts and uncles, they're like, man, you better get way more credits. You know what I mean? You're supposed to
Yo,
be a
that
doctor or something, man.
oh, man, I can't
Yo,
that's so funny.
real talk. And prep schools, I did great. I did great on tests. None of
Oh,
this was expected.
oh, wow, see,
But straight up,
that's the
like
wild card that is America,
real
and
talk,
they
you
didn't
ain't know. Oh, you ain't think this is the dream. This is the
yeah.
dream.
Actually, yeah,
The
you run
freedom
that
to
risk.
follow this nonsense.
You wanna move to where the white people are doing well, you gotta let your kids have white people dreams.
Real talk. Real talk.
'Cause, man, I know this is not what they wanted.
At
Oh,
all. At
boy.
all. And my dad tells me regularly. Real talk. That dude reminds me currently. Like he is like, this was not the plan, Gaston. I was like, I know. I'm also 41. It's this is the pivot. Like this
Yeah.
isn't like sudden. This isn't random. This isn't going to turn. We here. But straight up, like I'm
Oh.
thinking about like the Berlin Wall thing. All I remember is it like it. I didn't fully grasp what was happening. I just remember that like they would show it as proof that this nonsense doesn't happen here.
Right, yes.
That's what it felt like to me. Like, look at this crazy shit happening over there.
Right.
All right, cool. You're little. Go watch GI Joes now, where we'll
Mhm.
tell you don't like any of these other countries. They're the enemy. And if you're a teenager, go watch Rocky beat up on Russian people. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, there was definitely that was the vibe here from the Berlin Wall. Also, the Tiananmen Square thing in China, which you cannot find footage of anywhere. They scrubbed that clean. But let me tell you that photograph of that guy standing in front of those tanks, that was on every newspaper. That was everywhere. And so like I don't think that's gonna make it into history books if China has its way,
yo,
right? Like, no, it never happened. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? So, like, w like, what is if we're just thinking about, like, what the history books are gonna look like for this time,
yeah,
I mean, will we even have any? Like, I don't wanna be a bummer, but
real talk, yeah,
but yikes, buddies. We put this numb nuts back in. And I see I mean y'all did that shit.
real talk.
And
And by y'all, I gotta say some of my people did that shit. My bad. Real talk. I gotta own it. Yeah.
so like, yeah, what do we even think those history books are going to look like?
Yeah, like I'm concerned, like for example, like January 6th.
Mhm.
Depending on this next like 10 years and how it goes, the people that write that story view it very differently.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know what I mean?
absolutely. And so, yeah, it's just wild to because we are not here's what it is. We've been privy to historical moments, but like say on the good end.
Right.
We've been where everything felt like progress. Now, not everything was progress, and the things that were not progressive, they just didn't show us. But now it feels like we are seeing that end. We are starting to
Yeah.
see the shutdown, whereas we were coming up in the prosperous part for America anyway, one of its
Yeah.
more prosperous parts. So we're seeing everything being built and everything's, gold plated and shoulder pads and all this shit. And now we're seeing that fall away. And that is what is surprising.
Yeah.
Like, how that play because 'cause we're older too, and we're like, "Hey, yo, hold up now, this is bullshit."
Yeah.
But, I mean, who's gonna put that in a book? No
Real
one's putting
talk.
that yeah.
I'm realizing, like, as you said that, we're gonna be the stupid country in
Yeah.
every other country's history book.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we might be now, honestly.
Yeah, real talk. We there.
We might I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at our history books, honestly, or anyone else's, and I mean, again, if you're gonna make a history documentary, I need it to be in concert form, but if someone
Mm,
does that and explains to me how we look like, I've been, I've got first I have a wanderlust, I wanna go to other countries, trying to get to Europe this year,
okay.
at some point. I cannot wait to see what they call us. If it's just like, because I am fully a dumb American. I'm truly dumb. I don't know.
But we trying to learn, Sha.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to learn, but the books are so big. So you know, and I'm curious. I mean, we certainly look dumb. I feel like this is the first time though that and maybe it's not because I don't know anything historically, but this is a notable time where we're like, "Yeah, no, we do look stupid.
Real talk.
We look real I mean, we look stupid, trying to defend ourselves from the first Trump era,
Right.
and then they went ahead and put that motherfucker right back in." I'm like, "Oh, wow, we are real dumb.
Real talk.
Yikes."
Yeah, dude, this feel like
The kinda dumb that spread. So other countries became dumb as well
real
with
talk.
their
Like
own dumb leaders, and now And I bet they blame that on us.
Yo, and they should. They should. This feels like when like somebody dad stepped out and had a second family, and like
Mhm.
this is the week that he decided I'm gonna start bringing that family to church too.
Oh, wow.
Real talk.
Wow. How
That
so?
like in the sense that like you can't deny the shit that's going down. Like you the first family, and like it
Mm,
was like shitty news, but like you could hide it because it was a
okay.
rumor.
Right, right.
But it ain't a rumor no more.
Oh,
That
yeah,
other
we just
family here,
dumb.
like they two they two pews down. Like we can see the shit. You know what I mean? It ain't gossip no more. It's real. You know what I mean? Yes, that is your little brother. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'd like to, make a request that we compare all historical moments to a man with 2 families. I really like everything is truly crystal clear if you look at it through that lens. I'd
Yo,
like to propose that that is how we now look at all historical moments.
real talk, yo. The war report, making resolutions that we can actually commit to. Okay.
Yeah, no, that one we can do for sure. I don't know if I'm going to lose weight or get in shape or become a better person or get my shit together, but I can definitely look at this time and see what it would be like if I was a man with 2 families.
Oh man, what are we gonna do, Sha? It is
I
what it
don't
is.
I don't know, man. I truly don't know. This morning I woke up and said, "Now what goes in a to-go bag?"
Okay,
You
okay.
know what I mean? Like, all right, you gotta go, you gotta run.
Yo,
What I don't know why people have been talking about it on Twitter, which is where I shouldn't be. But I'm there. And you know what? Another quiet thing about Twitter, y'all are coming back. Y'all
yo,
are coming back. Y'all have been coming back. I'm seeing some tweets from people that I was like, "You left like 2 years ago, and you
yeah,
tweeting a lot." Like, it's where the fire y'all quit tripping. It's the spot.
you tried.
It's you tried, but we all love mess. We
Real
love
talk.
chaos. Clearly, the chaos is now in us. We can't put down our phones or our laptops if you're that old of a person. Um, we're just here. We're just here. As everything burns, we're gonna be on what appears to be the highest elevation. Tip top is I mean, Twitter is unfortunately the tallest of the shit mountains.
Real
So we're
talk,
just
B.
sitting on top of there until it all comes up to us. So anywho, they've been talking about getting bags, like how to fix your bag, what should be in your bag when shit comes down, and you gotta maybe make a run for it. Um, and I was just like, yeah, no, yeah, that seems like a good idea for people who need to make a run for it because I'm dumb. And I woke up this morning and was like, ooh, what? I need to go ahead and make one.
Yo, they vital. Me and my siblings actually had a it started out as a silly talk, but like a
Hmm.
real talk about like who and in what order we would like take over the block when shit goes down.
Oh,
Cause like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like we gotta get the resources,
okay,
and like like real you didn't meet my brother, but like he's 6'4", he's in real good shape. He's like 24. I would say like I'm not in great shape, but I'm well liked by my peers on the block.
sure, right, right,
And then realistically, it's a lot of elders on this block.
right.
So I'm like, yo, like if we gonna help people, we gotta gather them to like one or two of these places, get all the resources together. And
Hmm.
like my brother's like, yeah, I don't even like all these old folk. Like some of them,
Okay.
like we gotta take them out.
All right,
And
we'll
I'm like,
just
yo,
keep him
yo,
on the front line.
real talk. I was
Yeah,
like, yo,
maybe
like
he's not much of a
maybe
people person.
yeah. I was like, yo, like they cool. We need the knowledge. And
Right.
they also they're while we're here.
Mhm.
He's okay, fair. I was like, I was like, I'm gonna keep you near me when this goes down. But like,
Yeah.
yo, we started like for real, like brainstorming, like, yo, if shit hit the fan, like, how do we save our hood? And
Right.
like, where do we meet up? Whose basement is bigger?
Okay,
You know what I
that's
mean?
good.
Like, where do we like put the cans? You know, like, there's like, we figured out some cool. This is one of the few times I won't share it on the pod,
No.
just in case I need this.
Right, yeah, no, absolutely, for
I for
sure.
real need this plan. But like, we went way too detailed about like
That's great. Do you have it
'Cause
in writing?
yo nah, because I don't want nobody to find it.
Oh, okay.
But we
Alright.
talked amongst the three of us a lot, like, yo, like, because our block is weird in the sense that there are no 20-year-olds besides the two of them. Everyone's either a kid or like 55 plus.
Oh, wow.
And like me. That's it.
Wow,
It's odd.
okay.
It's just how it landed. Everyone that had kids around the age of my kids got divorced. The
Okay.
one that stayed here is the divorce without the kids. There's like
Okay.
three of those.
Alright.
So the person with the kids left every time. They're like, nah, this ain't for me.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So it's just literally like disenchanted 50, 60-year olds.
Well,
My family,
you may not have to do much work because I find with the disenchanted that they really have nothing to live for. So you may
fair. But that's my concern. I don't want them to turn on us.
Oh, okay, that's a
You
good
know what I
point.
mean? We gotta like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying
a
to
very
build
good point.
community here. That
Yeah,
that could
yeah.
be somebody like, nah, I don't believe in this. So that's all what we was talking about. Like, yo, like we gotta figure out what we could rock with. Yo. And this should be a thought. Like, you know what I mean? My siblings, like, they just wrapped up college. They should have all the hope and dreams of the world. Like,
And yeah, and
and
yet
we over here doomsday planning while my mom's like fire pit, like over
Oh,
here in the
wow.
backyard. It
That's
looked beautiful, but it was a dark combo. My mom was walking by like, oh, that's cool. Y'all bonding. I'm like, yo, we trying to save your life. Yo, we don't know
Oh,
what's going
man.
down. We just know we got 4 years where anything is possible.
Right, right,
And
right.
just in case, I want to know we got a plan.
Well, the closest I've come to that is I have a carrier for this cat that she's
Okay.
never really liked, and I've never really put her in it. Every time she's had to use it, it's only been a couple of times, and my old roommate was the one because that's sh he Lucinda would let Kevin pick her up. She does not like it when I pick her up. That's fair. She's a cat with, free will. But,
Yeah.
um, but I took the carrier out of the closet and I just put it on the floor, and she's been, like, either sleeping on it or scratching at it or doing whatever, just like, "Oh, this is something new that's probably important to the adult over there, so I'm gonna fuck it up." And I'm like, "Actually, that's for you." You're just putting your scent on it, you're making it comfortable for yourself, perfect. So now if I gotta put your ass in there, you can't be mad.
Real talk.
It's not punishment because you've been messing with it the whole time. So that's the closest I've got to planning. I'm like, "Well, she's prepping her bag. I should probably prep mine."
This is the sign that I most had this last week that like we might be in scary times is that like for New Year's the coolest part of the day for me was at like 5 in the morning when we threw a New Year's party. You showed up. Thanks for coming through. Had a
Sure, it
good
was
time.
great.
The coolest part for me was that when we went home, my daughter did not know that we had bought her a puppy.
You
And
had?
yeah, we got her a puppy. She's upstairs scratching up my whole house. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
wow!
Yeah, so she was like real excited. Everybody knows I'm not necessarily like a pet
Yes,
person,
right.
but like I swear to God, like my neighborhood has treated this puppy like we just had a new kid.
Yeah,
Like it's
oh,
the
so
only hope in the neighborhood.
you are now okay, so you're gonna have to take this puppy on walk. Let me tell you something, the way people react to a dog
Yo,
is like, "Was I ever here? Am I even here now? Am I if it came down to me or the dog, who are you saving?"
yo,
And I'm pretty sure it's not me.
I lost or instantly.
Yeah,
40 years of credibility shot
gone. Who
because of this
cares?
like
Look at this
4 month
dog.
old Yorkie.
Oh, wow.
Real talk. Her name is Scratch.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, thank you. Scratch Almonte. You know what I mean? The
Scratch Almonte definitely was in the ABA. He definitely played '70s basketball.
real talk, yo, Scratch Almonte. But like my daughter, I will go outside and like people like, oh, you got a puppy? You're like, yo, Gaston got a puppy? And like it like I feel like people, like, when they make that connection that it's the dog in my house, they're
Mhm.
like, "Man, anything's possible."
Oh.
You know? And like, yo, if you could change Gastor, maybe there is hope.
Oh, wow.
And like I've
Wow.
seen like like a light bulb of that nature hit
Mhm.
different people while walking this dog. And I'm like, that's
Wow.
beautiful, but that's wild. They're like, this is like we're looking for hope.
Yeah.
They're like, we finding it in this, you know?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. If anything happens to that dog, that whole your whole block, damn near neighborhood will be looking out if anyone tries to steal that dog.
That's fair. Real
Yeah.
talk. Scratch
They
got
ab
love right now.
yeah, Scratch definitely is because that's how my dog Gertie was. I didn't really know any of my neighbors, but the hood recognized me because I would walk the dog. And I lived in a neighborhood where most dog care was tie him to the front porch or I mean, we got a yard, like
Right.
not real walk kinda. I've had many people who are like, "So you walk this dog, like, every day?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a couple of times, 2 to 3 times a day, yes."
Huh.
"Huh, you ain't got no yard?" "No, I do." "Huh, alright." Well, my cousin them, they got theirs tied to a tree in the back, and I'm like, "Let it go." Like, stop doing that. So, when the dog disappeared one day, which was a very dark day, the streets were, looking. So, the dog
Yo.
did show up, hours later. But I think it was because if whoever took that dog couldn't have gotten far because
Yo.
everyone would have been like, "Yo, that's Miss Lady's dog."
Uh-huh.
They didn't know me. But they knew me with the dog, Miss
Uh-huh.
Lady with the white dog, that's who I was. My sister once was house sitting and looking out for the dog, and she's walking the dog, and she said a couple of people stopped her and they were like, "How do you know this dog?" People who I'm sure have never spoken to me before.
That's
And my
fire.
sister was like, "Oh, this is my sister's dog." I went, "Oh, alright, 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 so that's your sister. Okay, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that dog with no one else, so, you know."
Hell yeah, put that pressure on them. Real talk. And I know we stand out because like I'm still we're still in a part of Brooklyn where like people my size don't have Yorkies. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
So that
dare say I mean, I won't say a lot of places where but no, yeah, a Yorkie you with a Yorkie is a very funny visual.
real talk. And I'm out here. So there's one other Yorkie on the block. And it's definitely like appropriate owner. Like that
Oh,
makes sense. It's like
yes, it's a
yeah, it's a
little
little woman
right,
and it's adorable. Half the time that she's walking the Yorkie ain't on the sidewalk. It's in a purse.
okay,
Very
sure,
different approach.
right, so
I'm for real walking my Yorkie, like, yo, we out here. Like
what do you put, like, a muscle shirt on the Yorkie, or are you
my,
gonna
my
toughen up
Yorkie
this
got a
Yorkie?
hoodie and a Yankee hat already.
Oh my god, I
Every
can't.
time we outside, we match. We outside.
Alright, see, this is please, are there photos? Tell me you
I'm
are
gonna do a whole IG thing. I've been working
yeah,
it out with Michaela. She's gonna do the voiceover.
okay, good,
It's
good,
gonna be
good.
it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah,
Real
because I
talk.
feel like there needs to be a proper introduction, but you gotta do that right. You're
Scratch is coming out. Y'all gonna get to know her.
oh, is Scratch gonna get her own IG?
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Monetize that shit. These dogs let me tell you, these dogs are you're gonna be so depressed when you see how popular this dog is versus well, you put out your little comedy flyers, so no one give a fuck, but let's Scratch let Scratch have a one-man show. See if that bitch don't end up in Edinburgh.
I've been on TV. Who cares, B?
Yeah.
Are you a Yorkie Gastor? No. You don't got charm.
Oh my god, yeah, go on and mentally prepare for that. Go ahead and have
Hey.
your therapy lined up for that moment when you
Yo, she gonna pay for it. Real talk.
yeah, yeah, make her pay.
Oh man, let's get into the news.
Alright.
Kicking us off, not everyone is looking to move up the ladder, while 42% of workers say they turned down a promotion. That's right. In recent years, the allure of rising through the ranks at work has lost its pull. Not only are promotions harder to come by, but at the same time, people are vocally turning them down. Uh, The market to find a new job has stalled in recent years. Among 68 million white collar workers, just 1.3 were promoted in the first 3 months of 2024, according to a Bloomberg report. It's enough to impact people's happiness at work. 38% of workers say they're not satisfied with their opportunities to be promoted at work, compared to just 26% who were satisfied in the previous survey. But even if offered the chance to move up, a significant share of workers would say no thanks. 42% of US workers say they turn down a promotion because they're happy with their current job.
Mm.
A lot of people are already like the work at the level that they're at and don't want to move up. Most workers, 76% say they already do more than what's expected of them at work.
Oh, sure, that part, that makes sense.
Real talk. Say that again. Meanwhile, 29% say they're unhappy with their salary, so they don't want to move up. So yeah, this is I like this coming out more and more, just because like I think this is our like way of fighting back.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think this is the people saying, like, yo, we've been putting up with nonsense, and like America great, but I don't feel great personally.
Okay,
You
okay.
know, like the companies are growing, billionaires are growing. I'm still in an 800 square foot apartment. You know
I
what I mean?
mean, yeah, there's that. Yeah, you know, I kind of feel this, like, I'm happy in my position. And I'm also at a place where there's not really much of a chance to move up anyway. There really would only be one other place that I could move to.
Okay.
Um, and I don't wanna do that.
Mm,
I don't want that position. Um, Even though it would be the next logical thing. I'm happy where I am. There are certain things that I've managed to eke out from that I can do while still having this position,
okay.
with regard to, like, the my comedy life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I think anything else would mess with that. And if I had to look for another job, I would probably move. I would want more money, sure, because I am definitely being underpaid,
Right.
for what I'm doing, but also, I'm not really doing more than I'm supposed to. I'm probably getting paid exactly based on what I do. I mean, I should, yeah, no, and yeah, but I would want the same kind of thing so I could eke out enough to do the comedy.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm seeing uh now that I'm in it myself versus what I expected when I was like getting out of college.
Mhm.
Um I even in college and starting to come out of it, I thought I was preparing to do the thing that I would identify as.
Mm,
Whereas I realize I'm not. Like the jobs that I've had were jobs that I had to allow me to be who I want to be outside of the job.
right.
Whereas like my dad is his jobs.
Yes. That's also what has changed in a big
Yeah,
way for people is that, I'm not that people always talk like work-life balance. That's a phrase that's always bandied about in offices. But I don't know if they really mean it. Because
right,
when you set like a boundary, sometimes people get upset like, "Well, why won't you do that?" Or, the you do a favor and that becomes, "All right, they'll do that every time, not
right.
just the 2 times I asked them." So now that's another thing that you're doing that you're not getting paid for. And then you do that a few times, okay, you're actually doing the work of 2 people because you
Mhm.
still got your previous thing. They're not paying you more. I've seen where people have had they're running themselves ragged at a job. They finally leave, and then when that company that they're leaving has to write up like the job description and blah blah blah, they realize, "Oh, this is actually the work of 2 people. We got to get 2 people in here." You know. So then it's like, are you going to you're losing someone that you're only paying, you're going to pay 2 salaries now? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to lure one other person in and with one of those jobs and then slowly add more to their plate.
Right.
So, we're on to them. I mean, and also, I mean, this is I think maybe COVID probably sped this along.
Right.
I think if COVID didn't happen, then people wouldn't be like, "Hey, this is bullshit," like they are.
Real talk.
So I think that has kinda sped that up where people are like, "No, I'm not gonna no,"
Yo,
So
'cause everything like, every time, like, things like this come up and I think of COVID, like, I always, like, realize everything still more or less got done.
right.
Like, we still did the job, and I got to do it in PJs from home. Like,
Mhm.
if for the most part, I think, like, yeah, there's exceptions. There's people that, like, you wanna say from the company side of it, abused it, fine. But, like, in general, like, people need money. So if you tell them, like, "Yo, these are the things we need you to get done," they got it done. Like, you
Right.
sent the email saying, "Hey, I need this fixed," and they fixed it. They
Mhm.
might have been watching Netflix
Right.
while fixing it, but they
But they
fixed it.
they fixed
They
it.
did the
Yeah.
thing you needed. And it I know it bothers companies because for some reason they want us to only be like
They
in
wanna
the
own us.
office, not
Yeah,
doing anything else.
they wanna own us for those 8 hours.
Yeah,
We've all been fed this rule of, like, you got an 8-hour day, so when really a lot of the work could be done maybe in 4 to 5,
yeah,
but no one wants to hear that. So you've gotta there's the performance of office work, the performance of being a good employee, of just walking around and asking people how their day was and chatting and other things, and, like, I mean, once you have a time there are some people who need that,
right.
absolutely, who thrive in that. Let them go back to the office, you know what I mean? But no one
Real
was
talk.
trying to do that. So, yeah, like, when you saw how people, especially management, reacted to the idea of, like, losing their minions to being at home and you got so much stuff done for yourself while also doing your job and realizing, "Oh, it doesn't take this much," then yeah, people aren't gonna be in a rush to go back and do more than they're expected to already and then maybe get a promotion out of it even though they've already been doing it. Like, people are not in the mood for that. Like,
Yo,
the COVID really lifted a huge curtain, and although I mean this is how we're seeing it change. I wanted, of course, if anyone remembers how I sounded in those days, I wanted a drastic change. Like, we got to rethink everything. And I feel like we, of course, dropped the ball on rethinking everything. That's not a thing. I think we've discovered, talking in the part of this episode, America ain't one that for rethinking everything.
nah,
But this is how it plays out. No, I don't want, your promotion. I'll do this much of my job, and then I go home, and then I do what I wanna do. I don't need more of this on me. I don't
yeah,
another thing in this article is that people don't wanna do management. People don't wanna go into management. Other people are horrible.
yo,
You know? I don't wanna manage a bunch of no, thank you.
yeah, and
Manage
all
a
and
bunch of me's? I do not wanna be in charge of, like, 3 me's.
yo,
No. I'm a
and
terrible worker.
I want to deal with. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, come on.
Yo, and like the prestige of it is gone.
Yep.
Like when I was coming up, like I got promoted really quickly at my first job, and my friends were like impressed. Whereas like
Mhm.
now, like when someone gets promoted, it's like reluctant. Like, yeah, I needed the money, but like I don't even want to be that.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like nobody want that type. Nobody wants to be the asshole to other people.
Yep,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like I don't want to
Except for
do
the
that to
ones
people
that do.
that like it. Yeah, like if that's
Yeah,
who you are, that's different. But
yeah.
like I don't want to have to like I hate writing people up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. Like I get it. I know it. Real talk. I wanted to come in late to watch the game too. Like I feel you. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But I got to do this because that's what the job tells me. Because otherwise, a dude above me is gonna write me up.
Right,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? It's the only reason this is happening. But like nobody wants that role, and I don't blame them. It zaps energy like
It
from
does.
you to do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so, I mean, yeah, good on you for turning it down until you get what you want out of it. Like,
Amen.
life is clearly too short and
Real
getting
talk.
shorter all the time. So, yeah, don't be all up in these other people's offices when you know they don't give a fuck about you. That's the other thing is you know that they'll just let you go.
Real talk.
So,
Real
you
t
know,
I I I
if
get a
you no
single free
call, no
potato.
show for 2 days, they'll just be like, "I guess we need another one of them." They don't give a
Yo,
fuck.
real talk. I worked really hard at Frito-Lay for 5.5 years. Loved the
Mhm.
place when I was there. Have not gotten a free chip since. Okay? Not a
Right.
single, like, Dorito sent my way, and I still know people over there. And I get
Wow.
I that's the game. Real talk, I don't get
Yeah.
no discounts on deliveries at UPS. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
paying full everything. They don't remember me. Real talk. In
And
other
you
news,
ran that business.
real talk, I was like, "Yo, like, I had $6 million worth of routes
Oh
under
my
management."
god. That's wild business, Gastor.
Yo, real talk, at Frito, I was managing 12 routes at one point, $6 million worth of DSD business, straight to, like, stores and Targets, all of that. Like, I was integral to the functioning of that business in Brooklyn, and,
Mhm.
like, a decade later, it's like I wasn't there. Like, you know how and like that's all of us. That's what's crazy.
Right,
Like
yeah.
all of
Mhm.
us are that. Like for a period of time, you were the a integral part of this machine. But
Right.
the second you gave them a sign, they're like, I don't want to be here. They're like, this machine keeping going. Like
Right.
you ain't a part of it. Cool. We gonna find someone that will be, and we'll give you a gold watch if you did it for 30 years. But like in your case, we will send you an email saying we will miss you
Oh,
and never
no.
talk to you again.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Don't
felt the
don't take
phase
their
out.
yoke. Don't take their yoke, everybody.
In other news, 88% of high performing women get criticized on their personalities in performance reviews. Was
Yep.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely true.
As a woman, you have to be less aggressive. This is an actual phrase from a performance review that somebody reported on in 2022. 2 years later, we're still seeing the same problems. 68% of women and 31% of men are described as collaborative. 36% of women and 21% of men are described as helpful. 26% of women, 12% of men are described as nice. 28% of women and only 4% of men are described as opinionated.
Oh, wow.
Yo,
Okay,
that's
alright.
wild. Uh,
Oh.
22% of women and only 2% of men are described as abrasive. 18% of women and 54% of men are described as confident.
Mhm.
And 17% of women and 63% of men are described as ambitious.
How about that?
Yo,
Yeah.
yeah, I real talk, abrasive, I only associate with men.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's bananas.
Mhm.
Wow. This is part of this was being collected as part of a study that's pushing for the idea that personality based feedback should not be part of performance reviews, just because they found over time that a there's a lot of coded language, and b that it's clearly like skewed to different stereotypes of each sex, that can negatively impact the way people continue their career in terms of raises, jobs that are like being made available to them and things of that nature. But yo,
Yeah, it's wild business, huh? It's
I've never I knew it was a thing, but like that's those numbers blow my mind.
yeah, yeah. I say this as someone who, has worked in a few places where people have been, for whatever reason, terrified of me,
Okay.
but can't really put it into words, and then you get a review and it's just like, I you know, I mean, you're nice, you're good to customers or whatever, and you're nice, but, people still feel what the fuck does that mean?
Yo,
People, they don't know if there's a way that you could just be, like, a little what? Oh, nicer? Or what is make so and so like me? I can't do that.
and would
That's
that take away from me being ambitious?
Yeah, like,
Because now I'm not a go-getter, I'm accommodating?
yes, I'm accommodating, so I'm not ambitious. So take ownership of your section. Take a Oh, okay. So I can make decisions? Oh, well, don't well, you didn't check with well, so and so feels like you're moving to without what's happening? What are we doing? Like
Yo,
how yeah, it's wild. It's wild business to just see people not be able to I'm like we're coworkers. We don't necessarily have to be friends. We just
right.
need to be coworkers. We just need to work fine together. Not even work well. We just need to work fine together.
Real talk. We don't
That's
blow up when we get each
yeah.
other. Things get
Yeah,
done.
that's it. Let's just get this done. And you know, it's
Huh.
maybe I'm not the personality that they've dealt with before that they want to deal with or they're scared or whatever it is. Let's just keep it moving. And
Yo,
yeah.
it's a shame that, I'm thinking about it now, I definitely felt that, growing up, the most hardworking people in my class were women,
Mhm.
but I will say that, there's something that happens when, it goes from school to work where they're no longer being given credit for it,
Oh, yeah.
in the school setting, I do think people are comfortable saying that, "Oh, that girl or that young lady or that woman is the one with the straight A's." Why does that
Mhm.
go away when we're at a job?
Um I think it's because maybe school isn't considered real?
Okay.
Might be a thing now because there are so many women in, areas of higher education, like I believe women are leading the pack on, like,
Yeah,
just
like 4-year
graduates
degrees.
and yeah, and getting degrees and all that kinda stuff. So, whereas, it feels like, well, yeah, that's what if this is a woman, that's what she's gonna have to do in order to make it. You're going to have to be fully prepared,
Right,
right? Whereas a guy, I mean, he seems to have the promise. Guys can
right.
get by on promise for a long time.
Yo,
Some
real
do it for
talk.
most of their lives, and ambitious and whereas women they're told, you know, if you're too ambitious, you're not gonna find a mate, and that's what you're here for, right? You're here to find someone to give us more children so that we can keep this machinery of America going.
Right,
But if you're ambitious, what guy's gonna wanna be with you? Because they're gonna feel a little emasculated.
right. They're
So why
the
do
ones
you
supposed to be ambitious.
Yeah, why would you what I mean, I'll yeah, that could be part of it is just that's just woven into the fabric of, you know, it's school is well, you ladies will need this if you're going to go through with going out there and being in the world, but then you get out there and it's like, well, that's great for work, but I mean, you're scaring, it's like the flip of
Right.
scaring the hoes, you're scaring the bros, right?
Word.
By being competent and ambitious and wanting stuff. Now, some guys, they're fine with that, but you got to decide: do you want a dude who's willing to, or do you want someone that's matching with you, like step and
Right,
step with you, being that kind of? And maybe you do, maybe you don't. But there's something that is um there's just something about how women are have always historically been trained is to always be nice. You gotta
right,
be nice, you gotta be caring and nice, and if you are doing your job, no matter what your job is, but other people think you're not being nice while doing it, even if it's like a tough job, or you're not making them feel better. Because being nice for women is just making whoever it is that you're helping feel better.
right,
And I don't mean that like making men feel better. Women do this to women all the time.
right.
I dare say in my cases, it's usually a woman who's like, she's abrasive.
Yo,
It's usually it's usually a gal on gal. crime. That girl boss shit is kind of tough. So, yeah. So you're not doing what you're supposed to do, which is be nice while also, what are you striving for?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tone that down, B.
yeah. So there's a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of that. I don't know if what I said was just word salad, but that is how it feels. Of just, know.
It's a loaded topic.
Mhm.
Real talk. I think about it. I think about stuff like this a lot, just because, like, I have kids that are starting to like have dreams, and
Right.
the way they're approaching it is very different. They're both really like, in terms of grades, they're doing great.
Mhm.
Um, ambition wise, though, I think it's clearly in her favor.
Mhm.
She's like far more like driven, goal focused. Uh, by the same token, like, I don't think his approach is wrong. It's what works for him.
Right.
But like, I could see in like certain environments, like, that being viewed wrong of her. Like, I definitely know there's already moments when like, people talk to her and they'll talk to me after like, "Yo, she's a lot." And I'm like, "Hell yeah." You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Any woman who's been called a lot, definitely that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
That's what's happening is that they don't quite know how to put it in words, which this article says, if you can't explain it, why is it in a
Why are we doing
review?
it? Yeah.
Yeah, just like, I don't know, she just kinda what no. There needs to be things that that person has done, not
Right.
she kinda rubs you the wrong way. That's on you.
Real talk.
We
And
didn't hire her to rub you. So, like that kind of thing. So yeah, so if you are, you know, w- traits that seem like great for men,
right.
not so great for women. So, yeah, you definitely just get shit about that if you are at all aggressive in a thing. I mean, that's speaking I'm not the only thing in my life that the thing that I've been the most aggressive about in my life is comedy.
Mm.
And I have also been alone for most of my time in comedy. Like like,
Right.
it's a very I have definitely, been, told by friends who are just like, "Well, I mean, I think people think you're intimidating." And I'm like, "That's ridiculous. Have they talked to me? They should talk to me. I'm a goofball." And,
Real t
yeah, yeah, but that, if that's someone that you feel intimidated by and you have to do a performance review on them, you're gonna put that in different ways. They're a little abrasive,
right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause
Eh
I like, my daughter has told me a few times that, like, um, she runs with, like, a crew. It's, like, her and 2 other girls that, like, they're all studious, they're all, like, on honor roll. They got, like, focused agendas,
Mhm.
and they hold each other accountable. Like, "Yo, this ain't your grades ain't popping, we gotta work on this." You
Right,
go and,
right.
like, they work hard together, and it's impressive. And, like, they've told me of a few different moments where, like, they'll have, like, an interaction with, like, the other with the guy equivalents of, like, they also have good grades,
Mhm.
and they'll, like, get mad when, like, I win an argument because 'cause I'm wittier or
Yeah,
whatever. And, like, and she's like, "It's not a diss, it's just I'm in a house with you. Like, I'm fighting a comedian every freaking day."
right,
So, yeah, like, she's acknowledging it. She's like, "There's things that they're better than me at." But, yeah, like, every time I have an idea, you've been, like, arguing against me for 15, 16 years. I'm pretty good at defending my side against a teenager,
right.
you know? So she's like, "Yeah, I win a disproportionate amount of arguments in high school."
Mhm.
But like, she told me recently, she's like, "I've noticed that like the the girls in my class are fine with it. They view it as like a sparring thing. The guys take offense, like they get mad.
Yeah,
They're like,
yep,
that you ain't supposed to be like winning these joke battles." You know what I mean? And she's like,
yeah,
she's like, "Dad, I crushed them dudes like on a regular, like." And she's like, "It's not intentional. Just like if we're gonna spar, I'm not gonna lose."
right, right,
And that's her personality. That's who she is, and she's super ambitious with it. And like, on some me shit, I'm like, hell yeah, do that.
right.
But like, knowing the world, that like it worries me. Like, oh fuck, like people gonna see that as like wrong.
that or she's gonna be that, and it may I don't want that for her, that it may hurt her chances in certain things, but yeah, there are a lot of weak people in charge,
Yeah,
and it's something that could that may hurt her chances in something. I mean, she's smart enough to just be like, uh, "All right, well, then I just won't mess with that and pivot and do whatever it is that she needs to do," but it will that will happen a good deal. People will be scared to
yeah, nah, she
yeah.
she knows. She's more aware than I thought. Like
I mean,
last
that
week,
honestly, I think that that's probably what you can say for many women is that they're more aware than you think.
real talk, yo,
'Cause they yeah, because 'cause we're juggling a lot of bullshit. We're
real
like,
talk.
"Yeah, no." You know, like, we
Kudos.
can kind of for the most part, we can every anytime you hear someone complain about women just, like, I don't not it's basically they're being intuitive, but it's
Yeah,
because there's so much shit kinda coming at us, and we're just like, "Okay, we gotta be able" certain kinds of women, we gotta be able to work through it or get that bullshit to work for us or you know what maybe I'll just lay down and just take this or we're making those decisions but it's a lot yeah for
yeah.
sure
Gabby was telling me a while back that she's like, being a woman, is like me constantly doing smart things in a way that makes other people think they
feel
did it.
exactly
Yeah.
that's
She's
a
like,
huge part of it of making other people feel like it's their idea
yeah, she's like, that is like most of my life is like, how do I do this, get it done, and like make this person think it was their idea or their goal and that I helped, just so that I get some of the credit, but it
right
got done.
yeah
And she's like, that's most of my life, like personally, professionally. I've been
and
dealing with that since like a kid.
And there's a way and you have to be able to do that in a way where the people that you are helping feel okay about it,
Right,
doesn't feel like they're being nagged about it. You know what I
right.
mean? Like, there are different you gotta be able to work each person in a particular way so that they feel like, "Oh, great, I did" and it's like,
Real
yeah.
talk.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that.
Yo, shouts to y'all, B. Real talk. I'm telling y'all now, my daughter's approaching it different. Michaela's out here like she was like, Dad, like, nah, I get this. I've been studying Sun Tzu's. I was like, what? She's like, yo, I've been like, I'm reading all of this stuff. She's like, she got the the 50 rules of power.
Sure, yeah,
Like
yeah.
she's like, I want to know all the plays that they reading on their end. She's like,
Okay.
whatever they've been reading, I'm reading it too. So I know when they doing it at me,
Right,
I'm
right,
doing it back if I need to. Like I'm ready.
right. So, from this point on now that she's learning the playbook and all of that, what's next for her, which is stuff that she will pick up on her own and develop on her own, is how to finesse it.
Right.
It's the finesse part that she will
Yeah.
that she will have to cultivate in her own style,
Yeah.
depending on what she wants the results to be. Um, but yeah, there's a fair it's mostly finesse.
Real
It's
talk.
yeah, because it's all simple. We're all kinda doing the same thing, but it's the finesse and how you do it, and women usually have to finesse more because not much is expected of us except to go ahead and find our partner and then just be with them and let them, and then supply whatever, while the
Mhm.
partner's like, "Good for you, sweetie." Like, that is what, still is kind of the thing. And honestly, if you want to be that, more power to you.
Real talk. If it brings you
If
joy
you bring
and
yeah, if
fulfillment,
that is how if you're like, "Nah, but I kinda do wanna just" great,
hell
please
yeah.
do, because I can't. But so but we need all of everybody in order to keep this world moving. So if that
Yeah.
but there's still gonna be an amount of finesse that you have to do within that.
Real talk. If
Yeah.
you would like
Oh.
to be here for the soft launch
Oh,
of my
no.
daughter's presidential campaign,
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think she's gonna do president.
yeah, I don't think so either, actually. But
No, she's gonna do
I
some
got dreams of her being in power.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. No, she's gonna be in power, but she's not gonna be the president.
That's fair. That's
'Cause
fair.
that there are a lot of if my watching of Scandal was correct, there are a lot of people doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes that they're the real powerful ones. That's where I see her.
Amen. All you gotta do
Yeah.
is like subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You think she's gonna be president like me? You ain't listened to the whole story.
Mhm, mhm.
Shalewa just pivoted it. Five
Mm.
stars. You know, Michaela doing all the programming on the Manchurian Candidate. Okay.
Michaela drinking red wine in a bunch of white jackets, like Olivia Pope.
Oh man, she in charge. Real talk.
Mhm.
And on the side, she got like a puppy and like is really into art and design and fashion somehow.
Right,
You know,
sure, yeah, if that's what she likes, although I think that Yorkie is yours,
yo, I didn't
and
want it to be, but it's becoming.
yeah, yeah,
Real
yeah.
talk.
You're the one that's home the most, probably.
Yo, it
Yeah,
is
that dog is yours, and Michaela's just gonna go ahead and get herself like a, um, what's the just a big old like a bull mastiff or something
oh
that's
my
like
god.
as tall as her waist, basically.
Real talk. She
And then
was so happy to see the dog, but like that dog like definitely gets hyped when she sees me. And that is not the I'm like, I look at her like, yo, like you understand, B, like you shouldn't be here. But she
mhm,
look at me with so much joy. And like when I see her, I see Michaela. So I'm like, I'm gonna treat you cool. But like,
right.
yo, for real, this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, that's your dog.
But it's my dog.
Also, I think I don't know anything about this. I've only had 2 pets and both of them were ladies, and both of them love men.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. They are not down for the sisterhood at all. Gertie ignored me, any other dude in the room, and they'd say something, and Gertie would just do whatever they said, and I'm like, "Bitch, I feed you."
Yeah, that's actually what's been, I think, bothering Gabby, because Gabby's the one that spends the most time with her. But she
Okay.
definitely like picks me over
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they know what yeah, and Lucinda's the same way, like, any dude that comes by, she'll come out and go, "Oh, okay, cool, cool," and rub up against them, and I'm like, "You don't even do that?" But okay, I see.
Yo,
I see
Gabby
you.
feeder. Gabby and Michaela are the ones that like do the poop and pee cleanup.
Mhm.
I do one walk, and like I'm the person that like could throw like the fetch thing the furthest.
Okay.
So stuff like that she into. There's like a tug of war rope
Right,
that
yeah,
like
yeah.
I could like play with and not have it disturb my TV watching, you know? Or like I'm the person that plays with it the most. 'Cause I'm like, whatever, like this is nothing to me.
Mhm.
And she having the time of her life over here. I'm just swinging my arm back and forth.
Yeah, you're a
But
fun
she's like,
dad.
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, congratulations on your new dog, Gastor.
Yay. Oh man, this is not how I pictured my year starting.
Mm.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs to Lori McDaniel, Iron Fist Mom, and FCBLJ. Always appreciate y'all. With all that said, I am the happy but reluctant new dog owner, Gastor Almonte. Okay, with my pet liaison, Shalewa Sharpe. That's right.
Yeah, I'm here to help you talk your way through learning to love an animal because I had to learn as well.
It's weird. I'm still not over the like holding them thing. Like I feel like animals got like they
Yeah,
got the wrong amount of body fat that like I feel too much of their skeleton.
I don't know where things are, so I don't know where to grab them, which is ultimately probably why my cat doesn't like me to pick her up because she's
Yeah,
like, "You don't believe in yourself." And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I don't know if I'm doing it right, you know? I again, I my only other pet was a pit bull,
right.
and I could pick her up, but I mean, why am I picking up 60 pounds of of a animal? That's insane. It's not a toddler. I'm not doing that. But, yeah, so, yeah, you do have to read up on different ways to and you gotta practice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. That's why I put the hoodie on her because I could just grab her from the hoodie
Okay.
and then she just like she hanging like Mission
Okay.
Impossible.
Like on the back of her neck?
Nah, nah, nah. Cause like the hoodie, it has like the pocket
Uh-huh.
thing in the front, but it's on her back.
Oh, so
So
you
I
just
put my
pick that
hand
up
through there.
like a suitcase.
Yeah, real talk. And I just pick her up and so
Oh.
it's balanced across the whole like midsection. 'Cause I didn't want to do it. I don't want to strangle the dog. So I didn't want to do like a neck grab. So she'd be like submerged. She like this in the air.
Okay, could troops correspondents, could you please let us know if any of that is safe. I mean, I assume it is, but, yeah, will you
Like,
if you would give us tips on how to pick up cats and Yorkies, I
real
would
talk, appreciate it. Cause right now,
yeah.
like, she know, like, every time I do it, she's comfortable, but she's like, this ain't normal.
Yeah, I don't think
Real
this
talk.
is
She look at me like, this is allowed? Like, I'm supposed to be up here?
this is
Okay.
like a starfish.
Oh man. Hope you guys had a good New Year's and holiday. Excited to be back. Catch y'all next time. Peace.